Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking all about cars in this intermediate level lesson.
That's right. We have a little bit of problems with our car, and we're going to talk about some possible solutions to these car problems we have. So why don't we just listen to the dialogue today? We have no words on vocabulary preview, so let's jump right into the dialogue and listen for the first time.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
Okay, so this dialogue reminds me a lot of a radio show in America called Car Talk. And the hosts of the show, like Marco and I today, they talk about how to solve problems, and they ask you questions to find out what the problem is. So it's a really helpful show, but let's take a look at some of the phrases and words that you heard so we can understand what exactly is going on here.
Language takeaway.
All right, so today on Language Takeaway, we have 5 words, and they're all very specific to the car. So why don't we start with the first word? It's a noun, and we are talking about the ignition.
Ignition. The ignition is the first step to... The ignition is a part of the first step to starting a car. Basically, under the wheel of the car, the steering wheel, there's usually a silver hole where you can put the key in. Mm-hmm. This is the ignition. It starts the car.
Exactly. So you put the key in the ignition and you can start the car. And to start the car means to turn it on, to get it going.
That's right. And so ignition is the first step, starting the ignition.
Okay, so moving on to our next word, we have a word that's formed by 2 different parts, a spark plug. A spark plug.
Spark plug. So a spark plug is an electrical object. Basically, this has to do with electricity and the way that the car gets energy.
Mm-hmm. So it's called a spark plug because it creates a spark, which is a brief burst of current. So this basically creates a small spark of electricity, and this makes the gasoline ignite, so that's what makes the car go.
Right, so energy is taken from the battery to start a small fire, basically, so which then starts the engine. Spark plug, it's a very small but very important part of a car.
Very good. And moving on, we have the starter motor.
Okay, to be very honest with you, I'm not a car person, so I'm not sure what the starter motor is. Maybe you can explain this to us, Marco.
Okay, so basically your car runs on gasoline, right? Mm-hmm. So you put your key into the ignition and you turn it, right? This in turn sends energy to this little motor called a starter motor. And that basically gets the car going by means of an electrical current before the gasoline ignites. So it's like a little electrical motor that makes the spark plug ignite and causes some of the mechanical parts like the pistons move within the car, and then it turns on.
Okay, so again, this is all about the beginning of when we turn the key in the ignition, what happens. This is a starter motor. So once we've turned the car on, we've turned the key in the ignition, we have to worry about giving the car gas. So we can control gas with the accelerator pedal.
Mm-hmm. So by saying you want to give the car gas is you want to give it more energy, more power, or less energy, right?
Right. So if I want to go very fast, I push my foot down on the accelerator And the further down it goes, the faster I move.
Exactly. So that's the accelerator. Now, the opposite of making the car go would make the car stop, and those are called
Brakes.
brakes. Okay.
So on the left, we have a brake pedal, and on the right, we have an accelerator pedal.
Very good. Okay, and talking about acceleration and gas, we have a very specific mechanical object, and that's called a carburetor.
Okay, again, carburetor. I know that this is under the hood of my car, but I'm not sure what it does. Let's talk about this.
All right, so it's not very common to have a carburetor anymore in new cars, but basically it's a small device that controls the flow of gasoline from the gas tank to the engine. And basically what it does, it makes the gasoline into a type of very thin mist, and that's what that way the gasoline can ignite easier. So the further down you push your foot on the accelerator, the wider the little gap or the hole will open on the carburetor, and that way your car will go faster.
All right, very good. So that's all we've got for language takeaway today, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a second with Fluency Builder.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at 4 key phrases that we have for you on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase. So you heard the phrase at the beginning, Car Trouble Center. But Car Trouble Center, that's maybe the name of a fake company that we use. But the phrase car trouble is very, very common.
So if you say, I'm having car trouble or I had some car trouble, what does that mean?
That means my car broke.
Okay. So
But you don't say my car broke. This is one thing that can't break because normally you say I'm having trouble or I'm having car trouble because a part of my car is not working.
Okay. So instead of saying I'm having problems with my car or my car broke, you just say I had car trouble or I'm having car trouble.
That's right. So this is a really good excuse for coming to work late. You can say, oh, I'm so sorry. I was having car trouble this morning.
Right. So any type of problems with your car can be considered car trouble. Flat tire, no battery, etc.
Etc. Yes.
Okay. Now moving on, we have a very interesting verb here. We heard when the guy was talking about the starter motor, he said, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Okay, to crank. So this is a very interesting verb. It can also be a noun. It's a sound, okay, but it's also a movement. So when something turns around in a circle, dunk, 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 maybe you think of a metal wheel, dunk, dunk, that's a crank. So sometimes we talk about those old cars, 1910s, 1920s, the first Ford cars. You had to crank them in the front. You had to actually turn with your hand a wheel to make the car start.
Right.
So this is a crank.
Exactly. You can hear this in your car. Maybe if your car doesn't have gasoline, you hear the tick, 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 tick. That's the starter motor cranking.
So it's going around in circles, trying to create energy.
Exactly. And now when the guy was talking about the accelerator and he was talking about the carburetor, he said, no, don't step on that pedal because you can flood the carburetor. So to flood.
Okay. To flood. This is a verb. Maybe you've heard the word flood before as a noun, but this means to fill something with liquid, with gasoline, with water, with milk. So to flood something is to fill it up with a liquid.
Okay, very good. So you can flood a dam, for example, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Or in this case, you can flood a carburetor, which means it won't work because it's all wet.
Okay, very good. And the last phrase that we have very handy when you're talking about cars is to fill the tank.
Okay, this is always a problem at my house because I hate to fill the tank.
Really?
And so, yeah, whenever my car's in the driveway and someone in my family asks if they can borrow it, I say, yeah, sure. And then obviously an hour later they come back and say, why don't you ever fill the tank? It's empty. You have no gas. And I say, well, I hate to fill the car with gas. And so I always have an empty tank. So I never fill the tank.
Okay, so that's what it means. To fill the tank is to have it full of gasoline.
Right, to put gasoline into your gasoline tank.
Okay, very good. Why don't we go back and listen to the dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So, talking about cars and car trouble, I understand, for example, in some countries, when you're getting a driver's license, you're forced or obliged to learn a little bit of car mechanics. You have to learn about the engine or how to change your tire and basic things like this.
That's a brilliant idea. In America, you don't have to know how to fix your car. You have to know how to pay someone to fix your car. But basically, we only learn the rules of the road. So the signs and the basic rules.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it would be very helpful to know how to fix a tire or how to change the oil in your car. I mean, is this a requirement in Ecuador?
Yeah.
Really?
When you're getting your driver's permit, your driver's license, you have to take a course which shows you the mechanics of the car, first aid course, and also basic road rules and all that stuff. But basically, because it can be something very simple, like for example, they show you where the battery is, where you can check the oil and basic things like this. So maybe the little cable from the battery just came loose, and that's why your car won't start.
Yeah.
So instead of you waiting for 2 hours until somebody comes and picks you up or a tow truck, you can just check very briefly basic things that can maybe go wrong in your car, and you can just go on your way.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
had my dad for that.
You would
My
call
dad
your
said, I'm not going to have a little girl who doesn't know how to change a tire or who doesn't know how to check the oil levels. So, yeah, but not everybody has a parent who will teach them.
Right. No, and it's very handy because, for example, you get a flat tire. And sometimes, cars can be a little bit tricky. The wheel nuts are sometimes covered by a plastic cover, so you don't know how to take it off. There's a special tool for that. Or the jack. Sometimes the jack is not the normal one that you have to pump up and down. It's a little one that you have to turn a lever and you have to do this. So it's very, very useful to know these things.
Absolutely. I'm curious to know if our listeners out there have experience with cars and car mechanics. And if you have this rule, like Marco says they have in Ecuador, about learning about cars before you actually get your driver's license.
Yeah.
Let us know on our website, englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Let's try that faster.
An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Ignition. He turned the key in the ignition and the truck roared to life. Ignition. His new car has a keyless ignition system. Ignition. I put the keys into the boat's ignition switch and turned it on. Spark plug. The mechanic took a look at my car and said that the spark plug needed to be replaced. Spark plug. Tens of thousands of volts travel down the spark plug to ignite the fuel. Spark plug. I checked everything, including the spark plug, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with your car. Starter motor. The motor turned the crank, which started the machine. Starter motor. The starter motor in my car is defective. Starter motor. I ripped the cord on the boat's motor and started to travel across the lake. Crank. In the olden days, people had to manually crank the engine for the car to start. Crank. Nowadays, a motor cranks the engine in order to start the car. Crank. This time, the starter motor finally cranked when I turned the key. Engine. Can you start the engine about 5 minutes before we're supposed to leave? Engine. The engine sputtered and then it died. Engine. I can hear my engine straining in its old age.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking about eating food and certain foods that people don't eat.
That's right. So today we have special diets. We're going to talk all about being a vegetarian or a vegan, and we're going to explain all these words when we come back. So now let's just listen to the dialogue.
Hey, Julie. Do you want to go grab something to eat?
Sure. What do you feel like having?
I really feel like having a big, juicy steak.
Oh, okay. I don't eat meat, but that's fine. I'm sure wherever we're going, they will have other options, right?
I didn't know you were a vegetarian.
I'm not. I'm a vegan.
A what?
A vegan. I don't eat or use any animal-based products. I don't wear leather, eat eggs, drink milk, or anything that comes from an animal. I used to be a pescatarian before, which basically means you don't eat meat, but still have fish and seafood.
Wow, that's interesting. It must be tough.
It's a bit difficult to find vegetarian-friendly restaurants sometimes, but since more and more people are vegetarians or vegans nowadays, it's getting a bit less difficult.
All right, we're back. So now probably a lot of you have an idea of what it means to be a vegetarian, but let's take a look at that word and many more on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So a vegetarian is a noun. I am a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Vegetarian is a noun. It's a person. You say, I am a vegetarian. He is a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, a vegetarian person does not eat meat. So
That's right.
No chicken, no beef, none of that stuff.
That's right. So as you can see, it has the prefix veget, like vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they eat. They just eat vegetables.
And it's a little bit hard to say what vegans don't all... Sorry. It's a little bit hard to say what all vegetarians do or don't eat because some people have different rules.
That's right.
Some people eat eggs, some people don't. But there is something that is a little bit different from a vegetarian. It's called a vegan. And this person has many, many rules about what he can or cannot eat.
Right. So a vegetarian basically does not eat meat. A vegan, as we saw in our dialogue, doesn't wear leather, for example, doesn't wear leather shoes or a jacket, or use or eat anything that comes from an animal.
That's right. So no eggs, right? Mm-hmm. No foods that might have any animal products in them. So vegans often try to find foods at the grocery store that come from natural products that are not animal based. And so
right.
there has to be a symbol on the back of the box or the jar that says that it's vegan.
That's right. So in that case, they don't drink milk, they don't eat eggs, nothing that you can think of that comes from an animal. But on the other hand, this person used to be a pescatarian. So this is another type of person that has a special diet, very much like a vegetarian.
A pescatarian is a person who is a vegetarian, but who also eats fish. And so maybe I'm a pescatarian because I don't consider fish to be animals.
Okay.
So I don't eat lamb. I don't eat chicken, but I do eat fish. I'm a pescatarian.
All right. So a vegetarian does not eat fish or any type of meat, the same as a vegan, but a pescatarian does eat maybe shrimp and fish and any type of animal from the sea. Okay, and well, that brings us up to our next word. A pescatarian will eat seafood.
Seafood is a word we use to describe animals that come from the sea. So not just fish. Also, like you said, shrimp and lobster. You could even think of really delicious food like a seafood pasta or
Right.
seafood salad,
Okay.
octopus, things like that.
Okay, so you got clams, you have oysters. Anything that comes from the sea is considered seafood, right?
That's right. And our last word in language takeaway is an adjective we heard at the end of the dialogue. Our character said, it must be tough.
Right.
Okay, now tough is an interesting word because in English it has a few different meanings. But what was the meaning of the word tough in today's dialogue?
In today's dialogue, when the person said it must be tough, it's basically saying it must be difficult. It must be difficult to be a vegetarian.
Right, so it's a hard situation. You could also say, oh man, this homework is really tough.
That means it's hard. It's difficult. All right, great. So we've taken a look at a lot of key words there. Why don't we take a break, listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back in a bit.
Hey, Julie. Do you want to go grab something to eat?
Sure. What do you feel like having?
I really feel like having a big, juicy steak.
Oh, okay. I don't eat meat, but that's fine. I'm sure wherever we're going, they will have other options, right?
I didn't know you were a vegetarian.
I'm not. I'm a vegan.
A what?
A vegan. I don't eat or use any animal-based products. I don't wear leather, eat eggs, drink milk, or anything that comes from an animal. I used to be a pescatarian before, which basically means you don't eat meat, but still have fish and seafood.
Wow, that's interesting. It must be tough.
It's a bit difficult to find vegetarian-friendly restaurants sometimes, but since more and more people are vegetarians or vegans nowadays, it's getting a bit less difficult.
All right, now we've prepared 3 phrases for you. Let's take a look at those now on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So there's a very interesting and very, very common phrase at the beginning of today's dialogue that we use all the time in English. This is to grab something to eat. The character says, "Hey, Julie, you want to go grab something to eat?"
So taking that as a phrase, we are inviting someone to go eat something.
That's right. So I could say, "Hey, do you want to go eat something?" Or I could say, "Hey, do you want to go grab something to eat?"
Okay, and the verb grab is to take or to hold in your hand. So you want to go grab something to eat is basically that.
Right, but don't be confused because grabbing normally means holding with your hand, but to grab something to eat generally just means, "Hey, would you like to go eat something with me?"
Okay. And of course we want to go grab something to eat, and the guy says, "I really feel like having a big juicy steak." So we feel like having a steak.
This is very spoken English. So remember when you're talking to your friends, this is okay. But maybe if you're writing something, it's not as good. But I feel like a steak means I want to eat a steak.
Right.
It
It doesn't mean you are a steak.
No, I don't feel like a steak, like a piece of meat, but I do want to eat a piece of, I do want to eat a steak. And so I feel like having, or I feel like a steak. These are both acceptable in spoken English.
So you basically feel like doing something or you feel like eating something. For example, if we're going to have dinner, you can say, "I feel like having Italian food."
Yeah, I don't feel like having Italian food tonight. I feel like having Mexican food. And I also feel like watching a movie.
Exactly. So great ways of using feel like and then a verb like having or watching a movie. Now getting back to the vegetarian, the vegan aspect of our dialogue, we saw that the girl explained how she doesn't eat or use any animal-based products. So these 3 words, animal-based products.
So product is basically anything that will be sold or bought. Animal-based is a way to describe a product. So some products have animal products in them, right? So, for example, my shoes are an animal-based product because they are leather, and leather comes from cows, which are animals.
So you're basically saying that they have something from an animal. They are made up of that something that comes from an animal, like leather shoes.
Exactly. And it's not just shoes, it's also shampoo or some of the foods that you eat, like in jars and cans. And so it's important if you're a vegan to look on the side of the can or the side of the box and see, is this an animal-based product? Are there animal products in this?
Right. Okay. A lot of interesting things in this dialogue today. Why don't we listen to it one last time and we'll be back.
Hey, Julie. Do you want to go grab something to eat?
Sure. What do you feel like having?
I really feel like having a big, juicy steak.
Oh, okay. I don't eat meat, but that's fine. I'm sure wherever we're going, they will have other options, right?
I didn't know you were a vegetarian.
I'm not. I'm a vegan.
A what?
A vegan. I don't eat or use any animal-based products. I don't wear leather, eat eggs, drink milk, or anything that comes from an animal. I used to be a pescatarian before, which basically means you don't eat meat, but still have fish and seafood.
Wow, that's interesting. It must be tough.
It's a bit difficult to find vegetarian-friendly restaurants sometimes, but since more and more people are vegetarians or vegans nowadays, it's getting a bit less difficult.
All right, so talking about vegan, vegetarians, pescatarians, it seems like these diets or these lifestyles are more and more popular, but as we saw in the dialogue, it can be a little bit difficult, especially in maybe in countries where it's not so popular to have these diets.
Definitely. I think that in places where you can find vegan and vegetarian products very easily, being a vegetarian becomes much more easy because you have more options.
Right.
But if you're living in a country where it's very hard to eat a meal without having meat, then you might just eat potatoes every day. And that will get very, very difficult and very boring.
Well, that's one of the main arguments or the main concerns with people is that even though you can argue that you can get all the vitamins or many of the vitamins and minerals from nuts and from vegetables, it's still not healthy to completely exclude from your diet maybe sources like of proteins like meat or eggs or dairy products.
That's right. And so in America, for example, it's very easy to find supplements. You can take vitamins like calcium, and you can have pills that will give you some protein, and you can find all sorts of exotic vegetables that will help you supplement your diet. But in a place like China, for example, I think it can be a lot harder to find those products and to find those supplements. And so being a vegan, especially, or a vegetarian poses a lot more challenges.
Especially, I think, with what you mentioned, that products are usually labeled, where they tell you if they have any animal-based products in there. Whereas in other countries, it's probably not labeled, and it's a little bit, even things like getting the fat-free things are a little bit more difficult in other countries, like, for example, China.
That's right. So we would like to know, are there many vegans or vegetarians in your country? And if there are, do you think it's hard for them to buy food? Why or why not? Let us.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Have an inclination or desire for. Feel like. Piece of cow meat. Steak. A person who does not eat meat or fish. Vegetarian. A person who does not eat or use animal products. Vegan. Made with animal skin that is chemically treated. Leather. Originates from. Come from. Continuing to become larger in number. More and more.
Let's try that faster.
A person who does not eat or use animal products. Vegan. Continuing to become larger in number. More and more. A person who does not eat meat or fish. Vegetarian. Originates from. Come from. Made with animal skin that is chemically treated. Leather. Piece of cow meat. Steak. Have an inclination or desire for. Feel like.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Feel like. I don't like ice cream. I want cookies instead. Feel like. What do you feel like doing today? Feel like. He doesn't feel like doing his homework. His mother will be angry with him. Steak. There is no steak on the menu. This is a vegetarian restaurant. Steak. He loves to eat steak on special occasions. Steak. I refuse to eat rare steak. I only eat it when it's well done. Vegetarian. All my friends are vegetarian, but I love my meat. Vegetarian. Now that he is a Buddhist, he is a strict vegetarian. Vegetarian. She stopped being a vegetarian as soon as she saw her favorite food, hot dogs. Vegan. In my opinion, you're not a real vegan if you eat cheese. Vegan. She believes that being vegan is not just a choice, it's a lifestyle. Vegan. Now that my friend is a vegan, he no longer wears leather. Leather. Wow, check out my new leather jacket. I'm so cool. Leather. She saved up all her money to buy a leather couch. Leather. I don't like leather. It's ruined if it gets wet in the rain. Come from. Where do you come from? I come from Australia. Come from. All the people who come from here seem to love chocolate. Come from. You scared me. Where did you come from? More and more. As it gets closer to dinner, I'm feeling more and more hungry. More and more. More and more bugs flew into her room. More and more. The police were becoming more and more convinced that he was the killer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
I'm Erica.
And today we have a great intermediate lesson for you.
That's right. We've got some excellent real English for you all about cleaning the house.
Cleaning the house, that's a real life situation, so we're going to give you real English.
Exactly. So in today's lesson, we're going to look at language about cleaning the house. We're also going to learn a few phrases that you can use if you want to ask someone for help. And maybe if you're a little bit lazy like me, a phrase or two to avoid doing work. Okay, well, let's get started then with our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, great. We have two great words for you today. Erica, why don't you tell us the first one?
The first word is such a mess.
Such a mess.
Such a mess.
So when something is a mess,
it's dirty.
Yeah, or things are everywhere.
Disorganized.
Yeah, so, you have your clothes on the floor and your shoes on...
Okay, so that sounds a lot like my desk at work.
Your shoes on your desk. Yeah, I've seen that. I've been wanting to ask you about that.
Okay, such a mess. Really, really dirty.
Okay, now let's take a look at our second word, chores.
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 Chores is a really common word for...
things you have to do around the house.
Like, for example, laundry.
Or making the bed.
Or when you have to take out the garbage.
Those are all examples of chores.
Chores, yeah. I guess everyone can remember when they were kids, they had chores to do.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was my chore to chop wood.
Chop wood?
Yeah.
That's a great chore. Playing with an axe.
Maybe if you're a boy, but for a girl, it was not so great.
Ah, that's why you're so strong and fit. All right, so let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. It's going to be kind of fast.
But don't worry if you miss something, because we'll explain all of the important language afterwards.
Honey, the house is such a mess. I need you to help me tidy up a bit. My boss and her husband are coming over for dinner and the house needs to be spotless.
I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll be there in a second.
This can't wait. I need your help now.
All right. I'm coming.
Okay, here's a list of chores we need to get done. I'll do the dishes and get all the groceries for tonight. You can sweep and mop the floors. Oh, and the furniture needs to be dusted.
You know what? I have to pick something up in the mall, so why don't you clean the floors and I'll go to the supermarket and get all the groceries.
Sure, that's fine. Here's the list of all the things you need to get. Don't forget anything. And can you pick up a bottle of wine on your way home?
Hey, honey, I'm back. Wow, the house looks really good.
Great. Can you set the table?
Just a sec. I'm just gonna vacuum this rug real fast.
Wait, don't turn it on!
Oh my God, Marco, what happened there?
An explosion.
We love a good explosion here at English Pod.
We're going to give you as many explosions as possible.
Okay.
Right. So let's take a look at our language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So language takeaway is the part of our lesson where we teach you what we think are some really important words that are found in the dialogue.
Exactly, and we have 3 really important words in our dialogue today. So let's start with the first one.
Tidy up.
Tidy up.
Tidy up.
So to tidy up means to
put things in their correct spot.
Right, so put the shoes on the floor.
Get those shoes off my desk.
Exactly, so tidy up, organize things a little bit.
Yeah, put things away.
Okay, let's take a look at our second word now. Spotless.
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 So when you want something to be spotless,
you want it to be really clean.
Really clean, not a spot of dirt on it.
Like your desk.
Exactly, my desk is spotless.
My desk is not spotless.
All right, great word. Now let's take a look at our last word for language takeaway. Mall.
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 M-A-L-L, mall.
Mall, yeah. It's a strange sounding word.
It is a little bit funny sounding, but it basically means a large building with many shops inside, many different stores inside.
Right. Now in British English, you would say shopping center.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit more common, but in American English, we say mall.
Great. So now it's time in our show to look at putting it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, so in putting it together, we take a word from the dialogue and we show you how to use this word in real English. So we give you a couple of examples of how this particular word can be used.
Exactly. So the word that we have for today is groceries.
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 Erica, why don't you tell us what groceries are all about?
So groceries are all of the food items that you need to buy at the supermarket. So like your bread and milk and meat and
vegetables.
Exactly. Those are all stuff. Groceries.
Okay, so let's listen to some examples on how we use this phrase.
Example 1.
There's no milk. Can you go to the grocery store?
Example 2.
Here's the grocery list. I need all of these things so that I can cook dinner tonight. Don't forget anything.
Example 3.
I hate grocery shopping. I can never find what I'm looking for.
Okay, great examples. We heard some really interesting combinations, right?
Yeah, we heard grocery store.
Which is where you buy your groceries.
Exactly. Grocery shopping.
Buying all your groceries.
And grocery list.
where you have all the items that you need to buy.
A list of everything you need to buy.
Exactly.
You know, grocery store. I think this is quite a common word in Canada.
Probably North America.
Yeah. Do you say grocery store in America?
Well, if it's a small one.
Really? So
like a small store.
In Canada, I say grocery store for even like a supermarket.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess, well, I would say supermarket for a large one and grocery store for a little corner shop.
All of these little differences in American Canadian English. Okay, I think it's time for us to listen to our dialogue another time. This time it'll be a little bit slower.
Honey, the house is such a mess. I need you to help me tidy up a bit. My boss and her husband are coming over for dinner, and the house needs to be spotless.
I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll be there in a second.
This can't wait. I need your help now.
All right. I'm coming.
Okay, here's a list of chores we need to get done. I'll do the dishes and get all the groceries for tonight. You can sweep and mop the floors. Oh, and the furniture needs to be dusted.
You know what? I have to pick something up at the mall. So why don't you clean the floors and I'll go to the supermarket and get all the groceries?
Sure, that's fine. Here's the list of all the things you need to get. Don't forget anything. And can you pick up a bottle of wine on your way home?
Hey, honey, I'm back. Wow, the house looks really good.
Great. Can you set the table?
Just a sec. I'm just gonna vacuum this rug real fast.
Wait! Don't turn it on!
Okay, great stuff. Love hearing that explosion. That vacuum just is a bomb.
Yeah. In this dialogue, there was some really interesting language that you can use if you don't want to do any chores in the house.
Exactly. So it's time now for Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
You know, Fluency Builder is a part of our show that we use to take a common phrase or a word that you already know and show you how to express that idea more fluently and more naturally.
Exactly. So let's take a look at our first idea that we want to explain.
Let's say you're watching TV like the woman in this dialogue, and your husband wants you to help him do the chores. And you say, "No, I'm busy."
Right. Or, "I'm doing something."
Those are two great expressions, but we heard something a little bit different in the dialogue.
I'm in the middle of something right now. I'm in the middle of something right now.
Yeah, that phrase is great. It means she's busy. She's doing something.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah.
And so, Marco, you can tell us about our next phrase.
Okay, well, now suppose that you want to say, "You'll be there soon."
You might say, "I'll be there soon," or
"I'm coming."
Exactly.
But in our dialogue, we heard something a little bit different. Let's listen.
I'll be there in a second. I'll be there in a second.
So this is a more natural way of saying, "I'll be there very soon."
Yeah, you know what? I think I use this phrase almost every day. I'll be there in a second.
Yeah. It's really common.
Yeah, it means I'll be there really fast.
Yes.
Okay, so our final item today in Fluency Builder is a great phrase that helps you say the idea, could you or would you?
Right. Or can you?
Yeah, so can you sweep the floor? Could you sweep the floor?
But in the dialogue, we heard something that's a little bit different.
Why don't you clean the floors and I'll go to the supermarket? Why don't you clean the floors and I'll go to the supermarket?
Great. So this is more natural and it's giving a suggestion.
Yeah, it's sort of a polite way of asking someone to clean the floors.
Right. It's a really good and polite way of saying it. Yeah, I would agree on that. This was Fluency Builder. Now we are ready to listen to our dialogue again at its normal speed.
And this time you'll understand a lot better.
Honey, The house is such a mess. I need you to help me tidy up a bit. My boss and her husband are coming over for dinner, and the house needs to be spotless.
I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll be there in a second.
This can't wait. I need your help now.
All right. I'm coming.
Okay, here's a list of chores we need to get done. I'll do the dishes and get all the groceries for tonight. You can sweep and mop the floors. Oh, and the furniture needs to be dusted.
You know what? I have to pick something up in the mall. So why don't you clean the floors and I'll go to the supermarket and get all the groceries.
Sure, that's fine. Here's the list of all the things you need to get. Don't forget anything. And can you pick up a bottle of wine on your way home?
Hey, honey, I'm back. Wow, the house looks really good.
Great. Can you set the table?
Just a sec. I'm just gonna vacuum this rug real fast.
Wait, don't turn it on!
Has this ever happened to you? Has your vacuum cleaner exploded in your house?
Well, not a big explosion like this one.
Not so dramatically.
Not so dramatically. But I've had this happen to me before. Yeah. And dust everywhere. And it's a mess. You don't want to have.
You know, this word vacuum is really a very American word.
Yeah, vacuum. Vacuum the rug. Vacuum the carpet.
Yeah, vacuum cleaner. In the UK, what did they say?
Hoover.
Hoover.
Yeah, Hoover.
Hoover the rug.
Hoover the rug. Which is interesting because it's actually a brand.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of like American English. You say, pass me a Kleenex.
Oh, that's true.
That would be like a tissue.
Yeah.
So I guess they say Hoover the rug or Hoover the house. Yeah.
Wow. You know, I really love these small differences in meaning that we have between American English and British English.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay. Well, another interesting thing about this is that the man was doing the housework.
I know.
He's a house husband.
Yeah, so he's the one doing all of the chores in the house.
Yeah, that's the new trend now. Now it's more popular for men to stay home and take care of the babies and clean the house.
Yeah, like when I was growing up, my dad would take out the garbage and that was it. My mom had to do everything else. But now I think it's becoming a lot more common, especially in North America, for the household chores to be divided between the man and the wife equally.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Me too. Yeah. You'd make a good husband, Marco.
That's what they say, but they haven't married me yet.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're out of time, folks. Be sure to log on to our community website and you can leave all your comments. And maybe other house husbands out there can give us their feedback on what they think about this.
Yeah, so check us out at englishpod.com. And thanks for listening today, everyone. Until next time, this is Marco and Erica saying
bye.
Goodbye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Very dirty, disordered.
Such a mess.
Put things in place. Organize.
Tidy up.
Perfectly clean.
Spotless.
Busy doing something at the moment.
In the middle of something.
Common house tasks.
Chores.
Food that you buy at a store.
Groceries.
Careful, thorough house cleaning usually done in the spring. Perfectly clean, having no dirt at all.
Immaculate.
Wash the dirty clothes.
Do the laundry.
Soap used to wash plates, knives, forks, bowls, etc.
Dish detergent.
Garbage, American English.
Trash.
Garbage. British English.
Rubbish.
Let's try that faster.
Perfectly clean.
Spotless.
Careful, thorough house cleaning, usually done in the spring. Put things in place. Organize.
Tidy up.
Garbage. British English.
Rubbish.
Common house tasks.
Chores.
Soap used to wash plates, knives, forks, bowls, etc.
Dish detergent.
Perfectly clean. Having no dirt at all.
Immaculate.
Garbage. American English.
Trash.
Wash the dirty clothes.
Do the laundry.
Very dirty. Disordered.
Such a mess.
Food that you buy at a store.
Groceries.
Busy doing something at the moment.
In the middle of something.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Such a mess. Your room is such a mess. You need to clean it. Such a mess. The garage is such a mess. I can't find anything in here. Such a mess. When you cook, you always make such a mess. Tidy up. I want to tidy up my closet today because my clothes are all over the floor. Tidy up. Since I cooked dinner tonight, you can tidy up the kitchen. Tidy up. If you want to go outside and play, you need to tidy up your room. Tidy up. Every morning, I tidy up my room before leaving for work. Spotless. I spent all morning cleaning my car, so now it's spotless. Spotless. You did a great job cleaning the kitchen. It's spotless. Spotless. We need to make sure that the house is spotless before the guests arrive. In the middle of something. I'm in the middle of something right now, so I'll call you back in 10 minutes. In the middle of something. I can't go to lunch now. I'm in the middle of something really important. In the middle of something. I hate it when people interrupt me when I'm in the middle of something. Chores. When I was younger, I used to help my mother with the daily chores. Chores. I wish I could go with you guys, but I have to finish my chores. Chores. I hate doing chores, especially washing the dishes. Groceries. We need to go buy some groceries for this week. Groceries. I forgot the grocery list at home, but don't worry. I remember everything that was on it. Groceries. don't forget to buy some milk from the grocery store on your way home.